Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Money Mindset Hub podcast. I'm your host, Carla Townsend, and I'm a money mindset and success coach for female entrepreneurs. It is good to be back. If you have seen, the last couple of episodes were little snippets from my program, Money Methodology, which is my signature money program, and it is phenomenal. So those last two one was around pricing and one was around selling. There are so many blocks when it comes to pricing your offers, selling your offers, not being sleazy, pricing too high, pricing too low, being too cheap, being too affordable, being icky. There's so many blocks when it comes to pricing and selling. But what I want to explain to you first off is, I've said this before and I'll say it again, but you will always be too cheap and too expensive for somebody else. So your pricing must reflect what it is that you want to actually charge. And I said this on my stories the other day, but I truly believe that it is so much better and a much better strategy to start with a lower price point and raise your prices than it is to actually start at a high ticket price point and then reduce your prices or discount them. So if you find yourself doing this, you're second guessing your pricing, you put a price out there, you feel really good about it, 48 hours later, no one's bought, and you're like, oh my God, shit. It's too dear. I want to see you actually back that. There are a multitude of ways that you can price your offers, and it actually comes down to your entire offer suite and your timeline and your customer journey and where they come in and what problems they have and what the solution is and where they sort of are, what the transformation is that they're after. Because every one of your offers is basically around a certain transformation, a certain result that it is that they're going for. And that's why they pick that. So when we're thinking about pricing, honestly, there's so many different factors to it. So I think it's a really important rule of thumb to get specific advice around it and look at the full big picture of your vision and your mission and where you're going and who it's for and what's the result or the transformation that it's offering, where does it actually fit. And I teach women how to do this in my CEO Money Moves program that's coming in October. Links in the show notes if you want to join the waitlist for that. So you can actually get specific guidance from me on how to create your offer, how to create your offer suite, how to price, how to sell, all of it, because they are the things that I see that women get tripped up with a lot. But the answer is not always just like go for the high price. Now, I have to say this because, like, for the love of God, please stop doing this. And I've done this. I'm not perfect. I've done this in the past, but I have learned, do not do this. I want to encourage you to not take pricing advice from someone who doesn't understand your ideal client, doesn't understand your business, doesn't understand your vision for your business, maybe doesn't understand your expenses, your bottom line, where you're going, all the things. There are so many layers when it comes to pricing. But I see it so often where people take advice around what they should charge, what they should price, whether they should discount, whether they should increase the price, all these sorts of things from people who do not have their own business or have no idea about their ideal client or have never worked on their money mindset to begin with. So when you're actually getting advice from someone who has never worked on the money mindset, like their relationship with money might be really tumultuous or their relationship with money might be wrapped in scarcity, they're probably not going to be the best people to take advice from because they're going to put a lot of doubt in your mind. So if you're taking advice around pricing, selling, charging, investing even, and it's with someone who hasn't worked in the money mindset, is got a very scarce mentality when it comes to money, they haven't cultivated an abundant mindset and they just don't get your business completely, don't take advice from them or even engage in those kind of conversations because all it's going to do is going to lead you to self-doubt. It's going to lead you to second guess yourself. It's going to lead you to reducing your pricing, not investing, not selling, not showing up because you're going to be scared that, oh my God, this imposter syndrome's coming up. The procrastination's coming up. It's not perfect yet. I don't know what to charge. Doubt, doubt, doubt. Basically, doubt, doubt, doubt. So please, if you have, a business bestie, or maybe you're in a mastermind, or maybe you have a mentor, speak to them when it comes to this because there's so many layers. Like I said, it's not just about this one program. Like you could have the most beautiful, incredible, transformational program in the world, but the price point is so low that someone goes, that is too cheap. I'm never going to buy that because it's so cheap. It mustn't be good. Like it must be such low quality. I'm just not going to buy it. But it could be so amazing. But because you may be taking advice from someone else going, oh, is that what you're going to charge? Are you really sure about that? Or, oh, I'd never spend on that. Okay, let's just quickly interject here. What you value will dictate your spending. and will dictate the spending of your potential clients. If they value what you're offering enough, they're going to buy it. They just are. Plain and simple. If they value it, they see value in it, they see the transformation, that's what they want. You're selling to what they want, they're going to buy. They're going to. But if it's too cheap, they're going to second guess it. You could have the most beautiful marketing in the world, but if the price tag doesn't really equate and it doesn't make sense to your client and where they are in their timeline, where they are in their journey, then they're not going to buy regardless. Or again, you could have the most beautiful offer. It's really top tier, but you're speaking to someone different. Again, there's so many layers. So I really encourage you to get personal guidance when it comes to this, because you need to look at your entire business as a whole and the big vision and where you're going and all the different layers, so that you don't actually end up pricing yourself out of business, for one, because then you're not going to help anyone. And two, you're not going to get all in your head around self-doubt and this and that. Pricing is honestly just a game. It's just something you get to play with and you get to adapt to. But yes, please, for the love of God, stop taking advice from someone who doesn't understand your business, who maybe doesn't even have a business or has a lot of money work that they need to do, because it's just going to lead to self-doubt. So this is when boundaries are so important, and setting up those boundaries and in the conversations that you would have. I was explaining to Mick today, Mick is my husband, we were having this conversation around, when people, and whether it be family, friends, whoever, whenever they give me advice when it comes to online business, I know, one, my first go-to is like, okay, I know this is coming from a place of love. It's fine. I get that. I've done enough work on myself that what they say is not triggering me. Cool. I can listen to what they say. However, I have this big energetic bubble that blocks what they're saying if I don't feel that it resonates. I'm like, thank you, appreciate that. Yep, can totally see where you're coming from. But I won't really engage in that conversation anymore. I'm not going to go back and forth and talk about offer suites and pricing and selling and client journeys and all this this sort of thing, magnetizing your clients, with someone who doesn't have a business or who hasn't done the money mindset work to actually get to that point to be charging that. I'm going to have those conversations with someone like my mentor or in my mastermind. I'm going to speak to those people because we're at that level. Now, I say at that level, I mean, it's just like at the level of success that I desire to be in, like playing in that realm. But I don't want to create hierarchies here either, because I don't think that someone starting out is less entitled to success than someone who's been in the game for a long time. So please be mindful of your boundaries in the conversations that you're having. And if it's triggering you, look inwards. Go and probably do money methodology, because there's a lot of inner child work there. There's a lot of shadow work there. There's a lot of work around triggers and becoming untriggerable to actually evolve your money mindset to become a match for more. That whole program will help you do that, will transcend your money blocks and make you elevate your earning potential in your business, because it's not just about elevating how much you can charge or what you can price your things at and how you can sell. It's elevating your own self-worth, your own self-identity to become a match for the money that it is that you want, because the money is just the 3D byproduct of being a match for what you want and living in alignment, creating an alignment, operating from that place, your place of magnetism and what that means to you. So I hope that helps. I had to have this little conversation here on pricing because it comes up so often, and I see people get really disheartened when they take on advice from people who are just not in the game. They don't understand, they don't have the experience, or they just purely just don't understand their type of business. Everyone's business is so unique, but there are still areas that across the board, like I work with service providers, and there are so many things that are very across the board. And it doesn't matter how much money you've made or how much experience you've got. They're still across the board, and I still see them with everybody, whether you're a startup or whether you're a 7-figure business owner. I still see them. So it's so important. However, there are some things that are quite niche. And when you're thinking about like, how do I price this specific product? That's where you need specific guidance. Like a course isn't going to help you figure out the exact price for this. It's like we actually need to look at everything in the big picture. So again, like I said at the start, I've got a program called CEO Money Moves. It kicks off in October. You can go and have a look at that and join. You're going to get real coaching from me, real life coaching from me every single month, multiple times a month, because that's what I want. And I love that. I love being in with you to really nail this and to get it out there, because it gets to be easy. Like it gets to feel easy. Don't get me wrong. There's hard work and there's easy work, and everything is hard before it's easy. Everything. But the more that you push yourself outside your comfort zone and the more that you do the things that are uncomfortable, the easier it's going to get. And guess what? The more money you're going to make. So do not even entertain conversations that are going to affect your mindset and make you feel less abundant. Okay, I hope that helps, and I will see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would absolutely love it if you could please leave me a 5-star review and let me know your thoughts. Remember, everything you desire and deserve is just on the other side of your own resistance. So take that next step.